Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, August 10th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, Tesley, Coney, NVIDIA, and Misty. But first, yesterday I had a TNA put I sold expiring, and my price was 42 strike price, and I had made a decision to let it get assigned. So that being said, since I stayed in the game, I looked at a chart. Yep, I did. I looked at a chart, 6-month chart, and I saw, okay, what's the bottom, right? The bottom looks to be, over the 6 months at least, like 32 bucks. The high is 49 bucks, so that's pretty good, right? But either way, so looking at that, I decided, okay, let's take assignment like a man, right? Let's own our shares. Let's get 100 shares at $42, and let's sell another put, and that's what I did. I sold another put, $33 into next week. Short term, actually 1 week out, August 16th expiration, and I got 38 bucks for that. So if TNA continues to go down, obviously I will get assigned here, but that would, lower my cost basis by a lot, because obviously 42 right now is, above the current price, which I believe is around 38 or so. But anyway, more on that on my Saturday video, which is later today, obviously, when I talk about options. Also, I'm converting to only options when it comes to that video, instead of options and swing trading. So anyway, let's move on. So who had trades yesterday? First we had Tesley, second we had Coney, and then last we had Misty. So nothing for NVIDIA. So first let's look at Tesley. At first, when I looked at this, I thought it was a buy call, sell put, sell call. And I actually plugged in the numbers that way. And I woke up this morning, double checked the holdings, and I got it wrong. So this is why I double check the holdings every morning, to make sure I didn't screw it up. And I did screw it up. But anyway, what did they do here? Instead of a buy call, sell put, sell call, they did a sell call, buy to close put, buy to close call. So this just means people had sold out of the fund. So they no longer, have that capital, to be selling calls, right? To have in the synthetic and selling calls on. So they had to essentially get rid of some contracts. So they had to sell them from the synthetic, close them out, and then close out, a portion of the weeklies. So let's see what damage that caused. All right, so we are in the Tesley file. So they have a 260 and a 265. They closed out those contracts from the 260, 1,172 contracts. Now, the problem is, if you look at the price of Tesla, it's at 200 bucks, right? The strike of this synthetic is 260. So if you're going to sell your call portion of it, you're going to get essentially nothing, right? Because you bought the call, and that part did not make money because Tesla is not priced above the strike. And since it expires next week, the odds are very slim of it going there, above that strike, which is why you only get 4 cents per share. Now, on the flip side, when you have to, close out the put portion, that's going to cost you a pretty penny. It's pretty much going to cost you the gap in between the two. Now, the gap in between the two is around 60 bucks. Again, what was the price at the time? Probably around $59.23, right? So they had to pay $59.23 per share to close out that portion of the contract. Oh my God, this cricket won't go away. Yes, I'm in the garage, and there's a cricket joining me on today's video. So anyway, yes, they closed out that portion because people sold out. And obviously this expires next week anyway, so they would have had to close it out anyway. So expect the remaining closure to happen at some point next week for the 260 and also the 265. Now, let's see how the closeout on the weekly call looks like. So, well, first we'll look at the price. So what was the price? Tesla did go up a whopping 0.58%. Tesley did go up 0.85%. So Tesley beat Tesla. Pretty good. Now, as far as the contract closure, well, again, forced closure, we'll say, because based on people selling out, We had to split up the contracts on the 207.50. So now the 1172 contracts, you see, they paid 234, right? If we go back here, let's make sure that's what it was. Yep, 234. So that's what they paid to close out the 207.50, which, that expired next week. So because again, they already but they already moved their positions into next week. So they did make money on it though. So if you look, let's scroll, what did they annualize? 130%, really? Is that even? I guess, oh, okay, yeah, because it was short term. So they closed it out, obviously, early. But either way, yes, they made money. They made $666,000 on that transaction. So no harm on closing the weekly early. They actually made money on that. But obviously harm on the synthetic, but that was going to happen anyway next week. Outstanding shares, as you can imagine, went down a lot. So who is the whale that sold out? So, state your name. If you're in the chat right now, go. TC, Matt, who is it? All right, anyway, they went down almost 2 mil, 1.9 mil. It's crazy. All right, so what do we got here? Recap is the 30-day IV. Oh my God, it's under 50% now. It's at 49%. Outstanding shares, 49.9 mil. Total net income, 11.9 mil. Total distribution, 24 cents. Daily income, 6 cents. And then daily yield, 0.46%. Annualize that's around 166%. So far, so good on the weeklies. And then, yeah, I was looking up like missing persons, missing something, because people left. So yeah, missing. That's the, again, I'm playing around with images at the moment. So I'm moving on from emojis. I'll still use the emojis if they fit the mold, but I'm trying to get some, some of the emojis are played out at this point, right? I've been doing these videos for who knows how long, but so I'm changing it up, getting some images from the laptop. So yeah, missing person. 26 days till the next declaration, by the way. So let's look at the payment details. We got a synthetic loss now. Again, that's because of the closure of, the sellouts. $6.9 million loss, but we still, got some net income from the weekly calls, 11.9 mil. And that's a total net income of 10 cents. But if we focus on the weekly income alone, that's 24 cents per share. And if you plug that into the estimator, that comes to $1.80, which is 164% yield. Again, a little blown up, I'll say. So we'll give it till in the middle of next week and see what it looks like then. All right. As far as the holdings are concerned, again, this is the hit we're looking to take next week because these can't even talk. These synthetics close or expire on the Friday. So obviously, depending on what Tesla does, obviously if Tesla goes up throughout the week, then the damage on the put will be a little less, but it's not going to be much because it's very, very, I'll just say impossible at this point to hit the 260 and the 265. Now, again, the weekly calls, again, we'll see how they play out as usual. And then the calls on the synthetic essentially are worthless because the odds of them hitting, now it's 3 cents. You see, we got 4 cents, right, when we closed out the one, but now they're worth 3 cents. So that'll go down to eventually a penny, which unfortunately it's worth, barely even that. All right, so net asset value of Tesley is 654 mil. The NAV is 1310, and the trade price is 1312. All right, who else had a trade? Well, we got Coney. Simple transactions. What do we got? So this one, I'll cover the whole thing. So from left to right, transaction date, okay, August 9th, that was yesterday. Ticker for the YieldMax fund, Coney, CONY. And then this is the options contract. I forget the exact term, but this is basically the options detail, right? So what are they doing the option on? Coin, that's the underlying. And then they have the expiration date, which is YYMMDD, which is year, month, day. So the year is 2024. The month is August for 8, and then the day is 9. August 9th, 2024. That's the expiration date of that transaction. And then all the numbers after that essentially represent the strike price. So in this example, the strike price was 205. The BC is a buy to close, so they did a buy to close the 205 strike that expired on 8/9. Now, to the right of BC is 950. That's the number of contracts that they closed, and the 22 cents to the right of the 950, that is how much they paid. So again, they did a BC, a buy to close, the call that expired yesterday. They paid 22 cents per share. Now they used those 950 contracts to open a new call, which I'll just show you the date. Look at the date, right? August 16th. So that expires next Friday, August 16th. Because again, options, unless they're more frequent than weekly, which is rare, but most of them, they will have the Friday expiration date option. Now, again, this expires August 16th. And if you look at the price, you see a 2025, obviously that's not 2025, it's 202.5, so 202.50. And then obviously SS short sale, and they sold a call into next week, 202.50, and they got 410 credit. Okay? Again, I just wanted to give a quick breakdown since we had only 2 transactions. Sorry for those of you that already knew that, but again, I'm trying to help the new people watching, so hopefully that helped. Let's go to the spreadsheet. Cricket gave up. Good job. All right. 210 is the synthetic. So as you saw from the trades, no touching the synthetic. And luckily the synthetic we don't have to talk about because it expires in 42 days. So let's move on from that. Let's go right to the August tab and see how this fund did yesterday. So coin went up 2.06%. Coney beat coin. So we are 2 for 2. And Coney went up 2.26. You gotta love it. So again, we'll just say a rough week, man. Up, down, all around. Everyone just took a beating, right? It was just crazy. So if you had the opportunity, you were probably able to buy Coney in the $14 range this week. Again, Coney hasn't been doing that great. Obviously, it's mainly because the underlying coin has been tanking, but hopefully things get better. So now the BC, the 22 cents, what does that look like on here? If you look, you see that 0.22, that is the close price. That's what they paid. But if you look to the left of that, they got 352. That was the credit they got when they opened the position. So when all's said and done, this transaction had an annualized yield of 158%. It had a profit of 313,500. But again, this was only 950 contracts. Or obviously, this is a smaller portion of the overall holdings. But again, money is money. We made money. We won that contract, and good job. So now, I don't know if you guys remember, but yesterday, the day before yesterday, they decided to wait on this. And by the way, at the time they decided, it would have cost them 45 cents to close. So it would be unfair for me to not mention that it was a smart move for them to wait one more day, let it ride out a little, and it worked out because they only had to pay 22 cents. Again, every little penny counts. So again, they saved us essentially around 23 cents per share. So again, that goes in more into additional income. So waiting that day did help. Now, as far as what they did with that money, that 950, they used it, sold a call. We saw in the details again, 202.50. That comes to 3.16% out of the money though for 5 trading days. Woo, that's a little tight. What is that yield? Annualized basis, it yields around 108%. Their IV is 69%. So although, yes, they made a smart move on waiting on closing the weekly, we can say this was a little aggressive. Let's look at the other positions heading into next week. It doesn't really get much better. Their largest position, 15,800 contracts, is at 200 strike. That's already 1.89% out of the money. That's not good. So knowing that, they should have used the 950 contracts and they should have went way further out of the money, but they didn't. So here we are. Now, the other contracts, are they any better? No, not really. They are from 3 to 5% out of the money going into next week. Again, we'll see. The market's been on a downtrend, so this may be a moot point, and we may, not have to talk about this again. Or this may be a true disaster if coin decides to jump 10, 15% overall for the week. Again, time will tell, but we don't know. Outstanding shares did not move. So the formula's broken, the website's broken, they didn't update it, or truly people did not buy in. So here's the recap. 30-day IV, 69%. Outstanding shares, 41,175,000. Net income is 12.4 mil. Distribution is 30 cents. Daily income, 8 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.49%. Annualize that sucker, it's 179%. Okay. Now, let's move on. What is the reaction? I gave them the little nerdy look because, again, it was smart by them to close the call a little late. But although they're tight, their strikes are a little tight, they're not really, I didn't give them a good looking nerd, right? They're got some buck teeth going on there. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, synthetic loss, 50 mil. Again, we knew that's how they started the month, unfortunately. But we'll just look at the short call income. It comes to 12.4 mil, which is 30 cents per share. Run that into the estimate calculator, and we could make a possible 227 with it, which is a 177% yield. But of course, like I said on Tesley, give it some time for it to kick in, more days to show up, right? Especially by Monday, Tuesday, then the average will be amongst almost a full week or so. So it'll make more sense. All right, so holdings. Well, again, we got the synthetic. We don't have to talk about that. And we got 3 weeklies for next week. We don't have to talk about that either because we got time. We know what we're dealing with. So we'll just look at the net asset value, 631.5 mil. The NAV is 1534 and the trade price is 1537. So that is CONY. Last but not least, we have MSTY. Let me take a sip of water. Now, MSTY was, the only one of the 4 that did not close out any contracts. So they waited till yesterday. So as you see, the 3 transactions on the top, the first 3, they're all BCs. So they paid to close out their positions. And if you look to the right, again, quick glance, just not using spreadsheets, just look at the price on a BC. Oh, 5 cents, 4 cents, 3 cents. Yes, they won. They made money. And then obviously on the bottom, they used all those contracts, one stinking strike for next week. So let's see what that looks like. Again, MSTY looks a little different because MSTR, had a forward split, so their numbers are much smaller. So their synthetic is expiring next week, Friday, 7 days away, 12.66% from that strike price. So as of right now, the damage, they'll have to pay. They'll have to take a loss on this synthetic, when they close it out, and then they'll have to open a new one. But we'll see. We got some time. Not really, but August, let's see. Well, not a very exciting day, but MSTR went down 0.46%. MSTY went down more. So, yeah, why'd you do that? I don't know. So we are not 3 for 3. We are 2 for 3. So I would have expected we'd beat them if they went down a little. But either way, all good. So MSTY is still still above $20. So this fund is still dominating. All right, let's zoom out a little. Okay, so again, you saw the pennies. They essentially paid pennies to close it out, so which is nearly nothing. So look at the profit loss. They made, over $7 million from last week's trades. Unbelievable. Good job. Awesome. The annualized yield was anywhere from 93 to 227%. So again, how do they get such crazy yields? Well, MSTR is very volatile. In fact, their IV is 86%, which is high, but it's been higher. Now, the same number of contracts. Let me zoom in. They used for next week, again, August 16th expiration next Friday, 5 trading days away. So they used all 29,750 contracts, and they chose a 141 strike, right? And that's 4.16% out of the money. Yikes. That's tight. That's tight. I don't even want to look at the yield, and I know that's tight. I don't even care what the yield is, but let's just take a look. Yes, I mean, very, very aggressive. Of course, we don't know the timing of when they open this position. Yes, blah, blah, blah. So we use what we got. But either way, it's looking an annualized yield of 138%. Their 30-day IV is 86%. Man, bump that strike price up. We don't want to be capped on MSTY if MSTR decides to blow up next week. So I don't like that move. Did I not? Am I just not up to? I feel like MSTY never gets some love from me. All right, so 17,850 is the number. Oh my God, it went down. 17,850. I feel like yesterday I didn't update MSTY. MSTY is getting in my head, man. It's like since this split my freaking brain. All right, so it went down a creation unit of 25,000 shares. Okay, so 30-day IV. Here's the recap. We know 86%. Not enough for me. Outstanding shares 17.8 mil. Total net income 11.1 mil. Distribution 63 cents. Daily income 16 cents a day. Daily yield 0.67%. Annualize that. That's 244%. Which, again, these numbers are fine and dandy until we get blown through next week. But if the stock market stays down or flat, then they look like geniuses. Now, this is what they think. They said, all right, I'm bringing in the money. So, Misty fund manager, he's just, he thinks he's making all this money because he's going aggressive with his what was the annualized yield? 138%. Woof. I hope you're right. I hope we keep this cash bag. Hope we're not giving this back to the buyer. But we'll see, right? We'll see. All right, synthetic income for August so far, we got 3.7 mil. We got short call income, 11.1 mil. That's a net income of 14.9 million. That's total income per share of 84 cents. If we look at just the weekly calls, that's 63 cents. Good money. Throw that into the estimator, and we can get 470 or a 241% yield. Obviously, yes, forget these numbers until we look at this on Monday or Tuesday. Then maybe it'll look a little more reasonable. Why? Well, it's because they made a lot of money in a short amount of time, right? So that's why the numbers are a little screwed up. So if you go here, I have daily income. So I'm showing 4 days worth, right? So in 4 days, we had a Friday, transaction, which is a full week. That represents 7 days. So once we get to the 7 days, which is around Monday or Tuesday, then the estimate will make sense. The daily income will make sense, and so on. So anyway, let's go to the holdings. So we talked about the put, right? The put that expires on August 16th. Now, we'll see, but right now it's going to cost us $61 million as of today. So the buy call would give us 2.9. So in the end, we lose around 58 mil. So that sucks, obviously. But again, it's already baked into the net asset value. In blue is the weekly call, and everything in between is treasuries and bonds, and of course, cash. Wow, we got a lot of cash. So speaking of net asset value, the net asset value of MSTY is 416.9 mil. The NAV is 23.36 and the trade price is 23.37. Okay, so that's all the trades, right? So now we have to cover the one without the trade, and that was NVDY, also known as the GOAT. So they have a synthetic we don't need to talk about, especially since there was no trades, but they do have estimates. Estimated earnings calculated to be August 28th, which is obviously falling before the synthetic expiration date of 9/20. So we'll see how that plays out. Now let's go to the August tab and see how NVIDIA did yesterday. NVIDIA went down 0.21%, NVIDIA went up 0.17%. So in the end, 3 for 4, ETF beating underlying. So yeah, what a crazy week. What a crazy week. So since there were no trades, we'll just give an update to the current position. So we have 86,790 contracts, 111 strike. It sits at 5.97% out of the money. So, okay, is that tight? Oh yeah, of course it is. It's all tight with these freaking, these highly volatile stocks. But, that rounds up to essentially almost 6%, which, it looks a lot better than what CONY or whatnot. But either way, that yields about 73% as well. So that's pretty good. Outstanding shares, I did update this one, but guess what? No update there. Zero new outstanding shares. All right, 30-day IV, 69%. That's decent. Outstanding shares, 38.2 mil. Total net income on the weekly is 14 mil. Distribution, it comes to 37 cents from the weekly calls alone. Daily income, 9 cents. Daily yield, 0.44%. Annualized yield, 145%. Reaction is there were no trades on NVIDIA because the clock hit 4 and fund manager out. So, basically starting at 3 p.m., they're like, I'm done. I'm done for the week. I can't do this anymore. I'm not doing any trades. 4 p.m. hit, boom, he went to happy hour. So he's partying. He said, I'm the GOAT. I don't give a damn what you say. Obviously, I'm kidding. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but maybe there was just, no trades to be made. So short call income, 14 mil, no synthetic income. So we'll just look at the short call, 37 cents per share. Throw that to the estimator, which overestimates at the moment, 276, 143% yield. All right. Outstanding holdings. Again, the synthetic expires 9/20. We don't care about that. They got a shitload of treasuries. Apologize for my language. What else they got? They got, that first American government bond fund, whatever it is. And then they got the calls, the weekly call, and then the call from the synthetic, and then obviously 27 million in cash. So again, nothing relevant to talk about. We have to wait till next week. But the net asset value is almost approaching 900 mil again. It's 884 mil. The NAV is 23.16. Trade price 23.13. So that is the update for all the funds. So how do you feel? I think, we did pretty good. The market was insane this week, right? Insane. So, not much more to say, but at least we won. At least we made money. So it's a good start. Again, the strike prices are a little tight for my liking. So we'll see how it plays out. Next week's a new week. But again, if you made it I guess I'll go through a few things. Obviously, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. If not, I'll try again on the Monday recap, which is Monday morning. And then obviously, if you enjoy this content, please remember to hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments below. If you want to have a full-on conversation with myself or the community, we do have a Discord link, which is on my YouTube channel. You go under links. It's there with all my other links, so you can go through that. And if I remember, I'll pin it to the live chat if you're there. Or I'll also pin it to the to this video. I'll put it on the top of the comments. All right, anything else? Any other housekeeping items? Let's see. So for this weekend, I'll do an update to the YieldMax estimate. I will talk about my options trading journey, and I will give everyone an update on the Defiance funds. Outside of that, I don't have any other plans, but all right, again, I'm always, if you guys want to make suggestions, not like I can promise, I can do it, but if you guys have suggestions on videos, I'm interested to hear it. Of course, we have the recovery rate, which we can cover. I can make a video on that a little early, but The formulas do most of the work for me, which is good. I just have to update the dates actually. But yeah, either way, just let me know. Anyway, guys, if you made it this far in the video, I'll do a keyword. So the keyword for today is, yeah, I'm running out, man. I got nothing. I got nothing. So we'll just say, freaking Coney. How about freaking Coney? But why freaking Coney? Well, you remember? Let's go back. Tight strikes, right? Tight strikes, 3% out of the money when your biggest position is 1% out of the money. Why are you going to go 3% out of the money? So today's keyword is freaking Coney. Again, when I can't think of anything, I do just freaking in a fund. So easy way out, I know. But anyway, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you can type in the comments below freaking Coney. So as always, guys, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Later.